Hello and welcome. This is a video demonstration of the ShipLander game. I already cloned the repo, so here it is, as you'll see it. If you clone it yourself and then type in make run, the make file is going to compile and run this. If you're on a Windows system like me, you're going to need something like Xming, but on Ubuntu or Linux, whatever, Unix, it'll just run on its own without any need for a third-party program. Anywho, this is the model view controller architecture, and so down here you can see one view, up here there's another view, and running in the background there is a model. Now that means that when I update this on the view down here, it's actually changing numbers in the model, and then the model says, hey, I've been changed, and it's being observed by this view, which moves it up there. By the way, this, you'll notice it's zoomed in. It's 3 times larger than what it is down here, and that is done using matrix multiplication. There's scale and rotation. The rotation matrix actually I left out because there is no rotation, but you can do that if you want. Scale and translation matrices that you just multiply by the graphics, the 2D graphics matrix. I'll show you that later. And here we can, sorry, I'll get back to the matrices. You just multiply the graphics output by those matrices, and then when you print it, it scales and rotates and translates however you want. Anyways, on to the undo redo manager. These are done actually using an undo manager that came with Java Swing for free. So I'll fully admit I didn't implement that. All you got to do is push edits onto the stack, and then when you redo, it pops edits off of the stack, and if you're in the middle of the stack and you make a new change, it lops off the stack because it's not a tree. You can't just navigate whatever direction you want. Once you make a new edit, then you can only go backwards in time. You can't go forwards again. You've made a new chain of events. Anyways, so let's get started. I'm going to press the space bar, and my ship starts falling. And it accelerates. It accelerates, and there's a speed. And I'm tapping, tap, 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 and you get bursts of speed. Okay, you know what? I remember being better at this. So I'm going to tap left a bunch. Because it's WASD, and I tap right a bunch, and I tap up, up. When the speed is green, you can land. If you're going too fast, you will crash. Unless you're over terrain. Then it doesn't matter if the speed is green or not. You're going to crash regardless. But that is it for me explaining the model view controller and the undo redo stack manager and the clicking and the dragging of the different components. Let's get into Alt F4. Ugh. Just a sec. That's a lot of stuff. All of the things. So, you'll notice that there's no specific controller class. That's because I've combined the controllers and the views for in a couple of cases here. For example, the edit view has the mouse click controller because this is the view where you're actually clicking those things. So this is where the edit view is the one with the mountains and the circles and the landing pad, and this is how those get changed. There's mouse listeners, and the model has these functions which are called by this view. Anyways, then on to the play view. This has the key listener for the WASD, and we all know the advantages of the model view controller system. If I ever wanted to change, down here's the painting, the drawing of the world, the drawing of the terrain, the color of the pad, the size of any of these. Here, size, these are the scale and translate matrices. I can take the XY coordinates, the information of the raw model, and draw it however I want, all in the view, because the view does its thing separately. The ship itself is mostly just it's like a part of the model. It has things like its thrust and its weight and its gravity, and so you can use different ships if you want and just pop them in and out to make, I don't know, different challenges. See if, you turn up the gravity, then they're going to burn through the fuel quicker. And well, anyways, sorry, I'm rambling now. If you want to explore more about how the game works behind the scenes, you can, but that's about it.